So we're heading into the web app build, and I hope you're ready for this because this is where we start to get even more fun. Like as you get more advanced, the level of fun just increases in tools like this. So what we're going to be building here, we're going to kind of drift away from the cold plunge world and back into something that's actually helpful for my business, Growth Pair, something that my team can use, maybe that I can use. We're going to be using APIs, building out a full-on dashboard, connecting it to the web so my team can view it on their own computers and it's not just local to me. We're going to start to get a lot more advanced here. So let's get started and let's get code to work. Build a social listening tool that goes through all of X every morning for keywords that are relevant to my company Growth Pair. These can be keywords like global staffing, global hiring, global marketers, etc. Build it out in an easy to read dashboard that I can refresh on a daily basis every morning and can get intel on what everyone is talking about my space. We're just going to hit enter on that and let's see what it does. And really the idea here is to get a daily digest of what people are talking about within my industry, whether that's competitors, whether that's individuals that are looking to hire, maybe hiring managers. I just want to get a pulse on the market every day without having to go through X and manually search all of these keywords, which I could do, but that would take me 30 minutes every day, maybe even longer. And so what we'll have to do here is it's going to create this dashboard and everything for us, but we're going to have to connect to APIs that allow Claude and our web app to actually scrape X for all of these mentions and conversations. So as it builds, I'm going to keep kind of pausing and coming back to this so you're not just watching the build happen, but instead, I want you to see how I work through building all of this and actually publishing it. While this continues to build, a quick note. If I'm a marketer, whether a growth marketer, growth engineer, whatever function I am within the marketing org, this is a great use case. Being able to do social listening for your product or your product space to understand what customers are saying and get a daily digest or a breakdown that your entire team can go through. I mean, there are so many other use cases for this where you can have it analyze sentiment around a market, around pricing, around even competitors, but basically just getting a bird's eye view on what is everyone saying within the market that you're in and the brand and the company that you're working for. So, or that you're building, like how we're doing this for my own business. And so we'll allow here, just want to get your mind thinking on how this app is relevant to you as either a marketer or say business owner. Of course, this whole course and everything I'm building here is built for marketers, but you can use this for so many other use cases if you're a founder as well, or whatever it may be. But there it is. Let's see it in action. It's built it. It may actually open up Claude Marketer, so I will come back once I can get this reset here. Couple updates. So when Claude Code first built out this web app, it wanted me to use a developer account on X. However, I've previously already built something similar to this, and I found that Apify, I think is how you pronounce it, does a really good job of providing these, they call them like scraper actors or scrapers without needing a developer account on say like a Twitter or whatever platform. And I use Twitter and X interchangeably, partly because I've been on Twitter since, I don't know, I think 2007 or 8, like early days. So it still is ingrained in my mind. But so what we're going to do is we're going to hook Apify into our web app so it has the API key and can talk to Apify. And I don't know if I'm butchering their company name, but so it talks to it and allows it to then utilize all of the scrapers and everything that Apify has. So let's just do it because I think it'll be easier demonstrated than explained. So what we'll do is we'll go into Apify, we'll create a new token. We're gonna call this code lessons. We'll create, and then we are copying this API key. By the way, API keys are very sensitive. You don't want the public to have this because then they can just jack up the costs, get information on everything that you've got, a bunch of other things. And so you want to keep these private, which is why they are not shown unless I were to hit this view. But it's also the reason I created a new API, because I will be deleting this after. So we will say this is API key for Apify, and let's give it that key. As you can see, I've already signed up and I accessed this through the settings here and then in through API and integrations. Now, in this website, you have, or this platform, the ability to scrape and do so many things with social platforms. And it actually gives you a list of all of the things, they call them actors again, that you can do, like scraping TikTok or Instagram or Facebook, even Google Maps. It costs money to do all of this. And so you have to subscribe. And every time it's doing an action, it's charging you. And you can see I've used $105 out of $150 during this billing period. Let's allow. So here we are. It's created this dashboard. It's starting to scan X for those conversations, and it will give us the output on exactly what we had asked it for, which were conversations that people are having around my company growth pair. As of now, again, I can only access this because it's on my local computer. But what we'll also be doing in this lesson is publishing to a website so that my team and my entire team can access it. We'll give it a second here, do its thing, and then I'll be back once it's got the scan complete. And within a few minutes, we've got our first pull that it did to scan all of the mentions across the industry. And you'll see it used all of the keywords on the left side here. So things like global staffing and global marketers. It also says how many posts it analyzed and the engagement on those posts. So it's showing that global staffing has the most, although I do see 3.9K here for global workforce. But very cool. Now we have a live feed and dashboard from what everyone is saying, and we can also segment it by positive, negative sentiment and go through here. What I would probably do is go back and filter this in Claude Code and have it exclude any companies, because I only want to hear from consumers and those that are in our ICP, which are marketing execs and founders. And we can actually do that right now. So let's say, can you make sure to exclude companies during these scans? Or we'll say company profiles. While it does that, also want to show that, you've got top engagement, and you could see all of these different posts here with top engagement as well. And we can continue editing this dashboard so that it's most helpful for the entire team. I'll add a filter that detects and excludes company and brand profiles, or things that have, profiles that have keywords in their bios like official or Inc. So starting to do this. And then once we do a refresh on the scan, it should eliminate a lot of the company profiles that we have in here. And I can continue going back and forth until we get exactly what we're looking for here. But the next, restart the website. The next thing I want to do is guide you all through actually putting this live on a website and hosting it and pushing it through GitHub. So we'll go through the step-by-step on how to do that. So again, your entire team can access it and not just yourself. So it's going to go ahead and scan this. I'll come back so you could see if that filter is in fact working, and then we'll get into publishing this website so it goes live. Still looks like this is a company profile. So I would probably need to continue going in here and refining the filtering so that it's exactly what we would like. But because I'm probably not going to use this much after the course, or maybe I will,